morning, friends. Welcome back to my channel, Southern Yankee Beauty. Today I am going to play with the all-new Natasha Denona. I believe this is the mini rose palette right here. I've used this a couple times, so this won't be a first review. It'll be me showing you one look today with it. However, I am going to give you my thoughts on, do you need this or not? So I'm going to give you a few stats on this. It retails for $28. I think all of these shades are repeat shades. I'm going to list them upside in the corner up here and which palettes they come from. And I believe I have most of these, or if not all of these shades. Hold on one second. Okay, guys, so we are going to do swatches of this cute little new palette, and so all the shades in this mini rose palette can be found in other palettes. Your three, let's see, Psychedelic, Andy, and Opart. So Andy, Psychedelic, and Opart can be found in the retro palette. Now mine fell, and mine are in different positions, but it's Psychedelic. Opart's supposed to be right here, but it's right here. So this is Psychedelic and Opart, and then Andy, which is here, which is one of my favorite shades, but the formula is different in this one. You can see even the tones might be slightly different. So let's do swatches of these three shades, and then the other two shades I don't have. That's from the older 28 pan palette, but I found lots of different things using Natasha Denona of what I already have. We're going to do some, kind of just swatches and see like what, how close they are. Because I think this is great, but if you have these shades, you obviously don't need to use them. But she did do a different formulation. So this is Opart in the new palette. Now, I'll get a bit of a better swatch. So I believe this was a cream to powder. It definitely feels much different in the retro palette. This is the retro. I'm going to put it right next to it, actually. So this one, upon swatching, is giving better coverage than this one, which is more of the matte new formula. So we'll see how that applies on the eye. I did watch Morgan Turner's review, and she said she always had trouble getting the original one to build up, that this one built up quite a bit better and gave her more depth. But then when she did it in the review, she didn't have any trouble with it. So she was like, oh, well, I'm not having problems with it right now. So I don't know, but definitely different formulas. Let's do Andy next. So this is the old formula Andy. I'm going to do it on this side because this side is going to be the old formulas the ones that I have. So this is the old formula of Andy. And again, this one is a very pretty mauve. What do I have on me here? Got something on me. And it's a cream to powder, and the new Andy is not, it's just like a matte. So this is the new Andy, the new formulation. All right, so these are fairly similar, right? As far as colors, if anything, this one has a pop of like lilac or something coming in the middle that you can kind of see there. It's got a little bit of a different hue to it. And then Psychedelic, let's do the old palette first. I say old, but it's not really an old palette. This is the shiniest shade in this palette, and honestly, this palette needed it. So it's this shade here, Psychedelic, and these are the two. So this one is hold on, I just did it. New shade, old shade. Let me get more on the new shade. Okay, so new shade is, actually let's do old shade first. So this is the old shade, Psychedelic. Really gorgeous, right? Like that's like the stunner. I gotta do it this way. And then this is the new one. All right. So what I see immediately here, not a lot of difference. Of course, if I crossed over, it's quite shiny. I think these are pretty much the same. If anything, there's more shiny in the new palette. More of the silver sparkle is what I would say. But that one is so close. Really, like if you look at it from a distance, you can't tell. The biggest thing I'm noticing is the patchiness of this one, of Opart. So we'll see how that transcends over the different shades. Now, The next one that I want to do is this shade here, which is like a golden, it's called Golden Rose, and it is like a peach pink gold duochrome, like a metallic, but it's very soft, kind of like a satin. There's not a lot of sparkle to this. I think this could have been left out unless it was a little bit more dynamic. It's a beautiful shade. You can see the sheen in it, but I think we could have used something a little different here. So I guess if you just want a baby sparkle, no, I just messed up my sides because this is the new side. So what we'll do with this one is we'll just run this all the way across because we don't have an exact match for this. We're going to just swatch stuff from the other one. So that is your golden rose, what did I say it was? Golden rose shade. Again, really pretty, right? Really pretty, but not something that's dynamic. So if I'm looking at this one here, we have a shade in here. Let's see, this is called Pixie. And this might be more peach gold. Let's see what we have here. And I haven't swatched these at all, so I'm just going through. I mean, this is a pretty good match, right? Not perfect, but if you have this one, this is from the mini retro. So what did I tell you that one was called? Pixie. All right, so in the pans, okay, this is our new one, and this, hold on. Those are the two shades that I just did here. Okay, so if you don't want this, you can use, if you're pulling together from your own stash, you can use the shade Pixie in this little mini retro, and I think that's fairly good. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's so close, I don't think you're going to notice anything, okay? I also found another dark shade I wanted. This is in the My Mini Dream, and this color is called Loyalty, and I just wanted to, I think this is quite a bit darker than the O part, but let's just see. Okay, so I have to do it this way. Yeah, that's darker, but it's so close that I think, again, you could use it. And again, that's the shade Loyalty in the Mini My Dream. So here's another option for you. Now this one, this is the Mini Love palette, and there's this shade that I was going to compare down here, but I think this one's going to be too dark, but let's try it. Because it does have pink and like a gold, but I think the pink is going to be more of the big one in this. Yeah, so this is definitely more of a definitely has pink. There is a gold shimmer in there, but I mean, you could substitute, right? But not exact, okay? And then we also have maybe something that could, right here in this palette, this is the Mini Pastel, compete a little bit with Psychedelic, but I don't think this is going to be as shiny as Psychedelic. And you remember Psychedelic is right here. So, but let's just put that down here. I mean, again, you totally, if you have this, it's not perfect, but I think you can use this one. What did I tell you the shade color was? Oh, this is one that's like in white and I can't even read it. Oh my gosh, I absolutely can't read it. Anyway, it's this one in the palette. Let's go back to Psychedelic, and since I have it right here, let's just put them side by side. I just want you to be able to see the two side by side. Okay, so a little bit more pink here than this one, but again, really a good dupe. You could totally use that one. And then what was the one in here? I don't know. There's this one, but that's not gonna, I think I was looking at this, but this is gonna be way too dark. Oh yeah, that's definitely too dark right there. I was trying to give you some options to replace this color if you didn't have it. All right, so there's that. So then going into our Love palette, our midi size Love palette. There's a shade called Giving. And I was wondering if Giving also would be like a pinky gold to kind of go here with this one. Don't think it's going to be the greatest match though. All right, so the original one that we were trying to do here was this one. That is the flamingo shade. So if you put that here, this is the one that like I think could have been left out. That kind of the I'm sorry, I said golden. It's the golden rose shade. That's so those are different. Those are different for sure. There's really nothing else in this one. Let's see what we have in the, if there's anything in the I Dated Nude. I think there was a dark one, and there's Maya. So the dark one right here, this one is called Silhouette, okay? And then Maya down here to go up against like the psychedelic shade. Actually, I think that, let me get the psychedelic shade. Here's the psychedelic shade. And then here is Maya. Those are fairly close. So Maya and psychedelic, those are pretty close. Going back up here. Again, that's another one. These all look the same to me. All these browns are going to transfer on the eye well. That's the silhouette in the I Need a Nude palette. Pastel palette. I don't think there's really anything in this palette. There is like a pink here called Dainty that maybe like down in with these shades here, like the psychedelic shade. But I think this is, yeah, that actually has more of a lavender shade in it. Lots of options though for dupes. What did I get out of here? Nothing's in this one. This is the Zendo, nothing in that one. Then we have the Retro Glam palette. There's one that might compete with Andy. All right, so this is called, oops, this is called Belle. I think Andy's going to be more mauve. Yeah, this Andy actually pulls more like purple than the shade, but again, I mean, you could probably use something like that. There's a million too of the like here's Holly in the is it retro? The Retro Glam, and then you have this middle shade in that's more of like a peachy shade. That's the flamingo shade, like a baby pink. But I think those are going to be different. Yeah. This one has more, this is really light, but this one has more of like a, it's definitely a soft petal pink, but more peachy in it than this one here. But I haven't been swatching for that. That's such a common color. I think you guys will be able to find quite a bit in that color range that would match. And I think that's it, my friends. Let's see. All right, we also have Glitz. That could, Glitz and Psychedelic were in the same palette in the retro. Here's Glitz. Okay. Here's Psychedelic. Now these, both of these are the ones that are in the original this retro here, but then you can go into Psychedelic right here from the Mini Rose palette. So yeah, so those are pretty, I don't see much difference in that from the original to what's in here, but you could also use that one too. So lots of different dupes, I think, that you get away with using this. So for me, I would not have bought this if I wasn't reviewing it. I don't think. The only real reason for me would have been because hers are such great travel. I absolutely love hers for travel. So these color combinations are great. If I were to make a change, my change would have been to get rid of this shade and either put another duochrome or medium shade in here for blending. This is a good for medium. This is good for light. This is good for the added sparkle. This is good for dark. I would have just changed this one out because when you put this on, it just sort of looks, and you'll see, it's just sort of like, meh. But then you add this and it's like, wow, so that's what, but if you want a day look and you don't want a lot of shimmer, then I would go with this. This might be good for like really wrinkly eyelids as well. And this is good when you really want something to pop. So, all right, I'm going to clean up, my friends. I hope that was helpful. We are going to get this on the eye. Also today, I have two blushes that I told you I'm just going to pair up together, and we'll talk about that when it comes, but it's a Sigma and the RMS Beauty, two different color pinks. One's a cream, one's a powder. We're going to use that as well. All right, I'll clean up. I'll be right back. Okay, my friends, we're going to go in first with the color Andy, the new improved formulation, and we're going to lay that in the crease. This is still one of my favorite shades. Really love this for your days when you want to do pink mauve-y looks. So pretty. This is, I feel like this blends easier than the cream to powder one. That's just me personally, but I really do like it. I will say, like, I do feel like the palette is very intuitive, but I think you get kind of the same look for the most part. You can leave out the deepening shade if you don't want that and you just want a super light look. There's some different things you can do, but for the most part, the looks you get there, it's monochromatic. They're gonna all very much favor each other. It's not like you're gonna get this little 5-panner and do a million different types of looks with it. That's just not what this is. So now I'm going to use that shade Flamingo, the lighter shade, and I'm just kind of going to go and put that up top to blend. So that's this really light shade here. So I'm just taking a little fluffy brush here, and we're just going to go right in, and that'll help blend out your edges and also just sort of brighten the brow bone a little bit. There we go. It took a minute to, didn't want to focus on me. Okay, so that's where we are so far. All right, at this point, I'm going to start a little bit with Opart, which is our dark shade. And I'm going to start making just a little bit of a V, and we will eventually get this blended as well. But for right now, we're just sort of laying it down. And then I want to see, like, what I can do as far as really getting it deep. I want to see what we can do with the depth here. So got that right in the crease. I'm going to take our fluffy brush that had, actually, I think it still had, let's put Andy back on it, and go in here just to blend a little bit more. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to do the same thing to this other eye, and I'll be right back. Okay, there we have it. We're matching. Now we're going to go into the Golden Rose and I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's more of a satin. It just doesn't have a lot to this color. It's not that it's not pretty. It is very pretty. It's very soft. I think, though, when you compare this to the psychedelic shade in here, there's no contest, right? So, like, your best bet with this maybe just be to, I think maybe if you wet it, in fact, let's do that. Let's wet it on this eye and just see if there's any difference in what we're getting as far as shine goes. I just would prefer to have more of the high impact. All right, I would say it definitely gave it a smoothness to it when I wet it. I don't know if it gave any more like shine. And again, I'm not worried about blending, but that is because we're going to be going over, but that's it. That's what we're, if you pack it on, maybe, I don't know. That's all that golden rose shade gives. So it's a pretty shade. And if you want something really simple for like a day look, I think this is great. Before we go to the bottom, before we go, sorry, to the final where we're putting that beautiful shade on, I do want to go along the bottom and put a little bit of Opart right in here. Also, they sent me, I don't know if everybody got it or whatever, but I got a free mini liner with this order, or if this was like an affiliate thing or if everybody gets it, I don't know. But I got it on, I got this palette like a week ago. I pre-ordered it, maybe even longer. I just haven't had time to do the video yet. So, and you can use my code if you want it for 15% off, which is just Southernyankee 15, I believe. But I'll also have the link. You can either just go through the link or you can put the code number in. Okay, I can already see I'm going to need to put a little bit of concealer, but we'll do that after we finish. So I'm going to stay with that same brush, which is a Morphe M507. I'm going to go back into that Andy shade. That's that really pretty shade. I feel like that Andy shade leans a little bit more in the like plum family, like in the purple side a little bit more than it does like a baby pink. That's just me. But it's like still one of my absolute beautiful shades. All right, that's good. Now we're going to go into the center shade, Flamingo. We're just going to pop that really light shade right in here. We're going to brighten up that inner corner. So I just want to make sure you guys can see all of these shades in action. Don't know why it keeps not being centered here. Okay, now we're going to go in the top with the star of the show, which is Psychedelic. And we are going to just use our fingers for this, which is right here. All right, and you're going to see right here. See the difference between this and that? It's amazing. So I'm just going to cover it up. I wanted to show all of it, but I don't think there's a purpose as much for me as that for that golden rose shade as there is for this shade, because I will choose this shade over that golden rose shade every single time. And you'll notice I'm kind of pressing those sparkles up into the crease because they're so finely milled and they're so beautiful, and that is the look that I'm going for. All right, now as always, when I do something like this, I do want to go back in with our deeper shade and just see what we can actually pick up here in depth. It's sort of like a muted darkness. It's not super dark. Like it does its job, but almost like a smokiness to it. Not like a real startling, and that's probably good. It's like a lighter, softer darkness. All right, friends, I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to put the eyeliner on. I'm going to use the Natasha denona Macro Blade liquid liner lashes. I'll be right back. Then we'll finish up the face and we'll do the cheeks. Okay, friends, here we are with the finished eye look. I do think this would be really pretty with false lashes, but I'm going outside in the heat shortly to plant and stuff, and they'll just fall off. So, but here is our final eye look. I think the only thing I do want to do is take that really pretty psychedelic shade and put that a little bit over in the inner corner. So the really pretty pink, I'm just going to pop right there over that flamingo shade that we put in the corner. Brighten. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. And I'm wondering if this shade might be pretty on the cheek as a highlight. All right, so now we are going to try the cheeks. We are going to start by going into the Sigma blush called Pashima, which is like a coral slash pink shade. Okay. I'm going to use this here. And this is our, these are beautiful, by the way. This is our cream blush. So I got enough, hopefully, on here to do both of these cheeks. Isn't that gorgeous? Just blends like absolutely stunning. Cream blushes are really nice for aging skin too, because they just make the skin look hydrated and supple, and we lose pigmentation as we get older and we need to add it back. And the cream blushes are just really, really nicer for us than like a powder, although we're going to use a powder today as well. All right, now we're going to go into RMS Beauty. We may not need to use anything else because I think this is a bouncy gel powder blush, a multi-dimensional radiance and long-lasting color. I have mine in Bermuda Rose. I got these blushes following Tati on TikTok. She had a big, like, these were all 50% off, and I got these with watching her stuff. All right, so let me find a brush. All right, I got a big fluffy brush. This is a Rephr 5. And we're going to go in, get it on there. Yeah, we're going to come up. All right, that definitely brings the pink in versus the coral, and it's going to set that beautiful cream that we laid down. So there it is, the Bermuda Rose, and without, it's a much softer. Didn't it look like a lot of pigment when I first put it on there? It looked like I was putting so much on, and now you can see not so much. And then look at that, really pretty. So we're gonna go back in here with the Bermuda Rose, set that. We should have long-lasting beautifulness all day long. And I think even though this does have a radiance to it, we can just try to see if that golden rose would be good maybe for a highlight. I don't know if it's strong enough, but let's look. It's because it is a duochrome. I mean, it's given something a little bit, but not a whole lot. Not enough really to do a whole lot with. Let's see what happens if we put psychedelic over it. Will that work? See, that's just the better one. I was hoping like we could use the desert or the rose, whatever it was, desert rose, golden rose, as a highlight, and then really find an amazing use for that shade in this palette. No. Psychedelic for the win. Okay. All right, friends, let me get some lipsticks on and I will be back with my final thoughts. Okay, friends, hair's not done. However, the look is. So on the lips, what I did is I used the Charlotte Tilbury, the Queen lip liner in this beautiful, bright, hot pink. Then I went in with this Cranberry Twist by Color Story, and it's just like a crayon, and I just put a little bit of this in because this like went more red and I didn't want too much red. And then I went over to get the shine with the Luna Magic Cherry Hydrating Lip Balm here. Yeah, so that's what we did. The lips really pretty. It's a really pretty lip combo. Overall, very pretty look. Definitely kind of a softer, cool toned, smoky look with lots of pink. You could add a little bit more. Like I kind of came in, I think, heavy with that O part, but if I wanted to bring this over just a little more, I could, and that's gorgeous as well. Although I just went over the liner a little bit, but anyway, really pretty look. I will have some additional photos at the end. Do you need this? That's up to you. If you don't have any of these shades, if you don't have the retro palette that came out, this one here, if you didn't get this, then this is a great way to sample it because 3 of the shades are in here. The other 2 you have to buy the big 28 pan palettes to get, and they're so expensive. I don't even know if they're available anymore. I haven't looked to see. I know people have been saying that they would like to see those reformulated and see them come back. Again, I have no idea. I don't have those. So for me, those two shades here would have been new shades, but I would have taken this one out and done something a little bit different and made this palette a little bit more versatile. So, but overall, do I like it? Yeah. Am I glad I have it? Yeah. Because if I want to go somewhere overnight and I just know that I'm wearing pink the next day and I want a pink look, I'm going to grab this. I'm not going to bring this whole thing. So, that works out really well. But if I'm going to be gone for days, this really isn't enough for me to do a lot of different looks unless I'm wearing pink or, creams, pinks, whites, like the whole week I'm there, then maybe. So I kind of coordinate my clothing to my makeup as well. I don't know if any of y'all do that, but I like kind of that look, that monochromatic look. I really do like that. So overall, love it. As far as the blushes that I used today, so we used the Pashima blush, and then this one is by Sigma, and then we use the Bermuda Rose by RMS Beauty. Really pretty, really pretty. I haven't even powdered yet. So beautiful. I'm getting ready to do that now. It'll take the shine down a little bit, and I do need to, because I'll get like sweaty, so I definitely do want to do a little bit of setting powder, especially like under the eye a little bit. I'm using Hourglass, by the way. The Hourglass setting powder is the best. I absolutely love it. It's really great. Hourglass has some of the best powders, guys. If you don't have some of their powders, you should try them. Try them when the collection comes out for the holiday, where you can get the entire, I have it on my desk here somewhere, but I can't find it, but where you can get like 6 shades. It's like $80, but they come in a kit, and you get the blush, the highlight, sometimes a bronzer, sometimes some of their powders. Those are expensive, but beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right. There we are. All right. So really beautiful. So again, check out Hourglass too if you haven't, because I'm in love with their powders. Like, you can't do better than Hourglass for powders. All right, my friends, that is it. That is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a long one because we did swatches and everything. So I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye, friends.
I dare you to fix me. I'm crossing the line again, falling on my knees. No stranger to pain, it's never ending, it's only something I can't forget. My heart won't let it rest, but you keep on forgiving. Admit that I'm afraid, if I let go of this pain, am I completely betrayed? There's no air left to breathe. I'm drowning, vultures are circling me around it. I need to fight, I know it's just so hard to let it go.